Okay, so picture this case. You're scrolling through your phone, checking out like the latest phone specs, and bam, you see it right there on the screen. Crafted from aerospace-grade aluminum alloy. We see this kind of thing everywhere, but like, have you ever actually stopped to think about what that means?
Yeah, yeah.
What even is an alloy anyway? And who are these people who like dream up these combinations of metals that, make our world work?
What I think is so fascinating is that, like, we live in this world that's totally built on these materials, but most of us, we don't even give a second thought to the science behind it all.
Right, right.
And that's where metallurgy comes in, right?
Okay,
It's
okay.
not just about, like, melting and pouring metal. It's about, like, truly understanding the core building blocks of, well, of everything, the physical world.
So we're talking about way more than just like blacksmiths here.
Oh, yeah,
Yes,
absolutely.
we're diving deep into this whole world where chemistry, engineering, and even like a little bit of artistry all kind of collide.
Yeah, definitely.
And to guide us through all this, we've got some really insightful sources with us today.
Sure do.
Career guides, interview prep tips, we've got it all. And it's all focused on, giving us the inside scoop on what a career in metallurgy is really like, not just, the textbook stuff.
And honestly, one thing that these sources highlight right away is just how diverse the field actually is.
Okay.
We're talking metallurgists who are like analyzing production data,
All right.
optimizing processing techniques. I mean, for everything. We're talking microchips to spaceships,
Wow.
even developing brand new alloys with like properties we never even thought were possible. It's about, constantly pushing the boundaries of what these materials can actually do.
Hold on. Did you say spaceships?
Yeah, yeah,
Now, that's what I call high stakes.
it is.
But I'm guessing it's not all, rocket science?
Right.
What about the everyday stuff?
Oh,
Our sources mention things like analyzing failures like, why did a bridge component crack?
yeah.
That sounds like some serious detective work.
It really is. That's where the whole metallurgy mindset comes in.
Okay.
These are professionals who are trained to, they think critically, they analyze data, they can, like, connect the dots between, like, the microscopic structure of a material and how well it performs in the real world.
So it's like being like a material detective, right?
Yeah.
Uncovering these hidden stories within these metals.
Exactly.
Speaking of hidden stories, what's the career path actually look like for someone, who's wanting to get into this field? Our sources, they seem to like emphasize that it's not just about, getting a good grade in your chemistry class.
Right. It's about way more than just textbook knowledge.
Yeah.
What's cool is the sources we've got here, they point to this need for like a blend of technical expertise. So yeah, that's your chemistry, physics, engineering, and what we call, soft skills.
Okay, so like what?
Communication, problem solving, and this one might surprise you, but reading comprehension, that ranked surprisingly high on the list of essential skills.
Wait, hold on. Reading comprehension?
I know, right?
Seriously?
Yeah.
That's like one of the top skills for a metallurgist.
Yeah.
I would thought it was all like Bunsen burners and lab coats, that kind of thing.
You would think, but staying updated with like all the industry journals, deciphering like really complex research papers, that's all part of it.
Wow.
Because metallurgy is always evolving, always changing.
Right.
There are always new discoveries and technologies like popping up all the time.
So it's not just knowing your alloys. It's about like staying ahead of the curve in a field that's constantly pushing the boundaries, huh?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's fascinating. But let's get down to like the brass tacks here.
Okay, yeah.
What does the job market actually look like for someone who wants to be a metallurgist?
Well, the good news is that it's a field that's in high demand right now.
Okay, that's good.
Our sources, they mention a projected growth rate of like 3% over the next decade,
Okay.
which is really good.
Yeah, yeah.
But what's even more interesting than that is that there are all these like specialized areas within metallurgy, and some of them are seeing like explosive growth.
Really?
Like, did you know that the demand for metallurgists who specialize in additive manufacturing, so that's 3D printing with metals, by the way,
Okay.
that's expected to like skyrocket up by 20% in just the next 5 years.
Oh, 20%?
Yeah.
That's wild. That's what I call a hot job market.
Yeah.
It sounds like we're not just talking about like the traditional industries like manufacturing and construction anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Metallurgy is finding its way into like all these cutting edge fields like aerospace, renewable energy, even bioengineering.
Oh.
Think about it. You could be designing like the next generation of lightweight alloys for like electric cars.
Right.
Maybe developing new materials for solar panels, so that they're more efficient and durable, or even creating biocompatible implants for medical devices.
Okay, you've officially blown my mind.
It's a really cool field.
I never realized how far-reaching this field actually is. But let's say, like, someone's listening to us right now, and they're thinking, this sounds amazing. Where do I even begin? What's the first step on this whole journey to becoming, like, a master of metals?
Well, the sources we've got here, they lay out a pretty clear educational path.
Okay.
Material science and chemical engineering, those are emerging as, like, the most common starting points. But it's not just about, getting the degree, is it?
It's not enough to just, memorize the periodic table.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
They really stress the importance of, like, getting your hands dirty, like literally internships, volunteering in research labs, even like taking on your own personal projects that let you, actually apply all those theories that you're learning in your textbooks.
Oh.
It's about, proving that you can actually bridge that gap between like knowing something and applying it in the real world.
So it's not enough to just have the fancy degree on your resume.
Right.
You got to have some experience to back it up.
Yeah, exactly.
Which makes sense in a field like this. Okay, but let's talk about actually landing the job for a minute.
Okay, yeah.
Because even with like the perfect combination of education and experience, actually getting out there and looking for a job, that can be a beast.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And that's where all this stuff that we got from the RoleCatcher sources, that's where it becomes super valuable.
Okay.
Because these aren't just, career guides, right?
Yeah.
They give you these really practical tools that you can use to like actually figure out how to do the job searching thing and prep for interviews.
Okay, so like what kind of tools are we talking about here?
Well, they have this really cool AI-powered plugin called RoleCatcher.Capture.
Okay.
So like imagine you're scrolling through job boards, right?
Sure.
And then bam, you see the perfect listing. Like maybe they're looking for a metallurgist who specializes in like, I don't know, developing new alloys for electric car batteries.
Okay.
So you see that, and then boom, one click with this plugin, it not only saves that listing to your profile, but it also starts to analyze like the job description itself.
Oh, wow.
So it's identifying the key skills, and it can even suggest ways that you could tailor your resume specifically to that job.
Hold on, it's like having like a personal assistant who just gets what those recruiters are looking for.
Exactly.
No more like spending hours trying to decipher these vague job descriptions.
Oh, exactly.
Or agonizing over every single word in your resume.
Exactly. It just streamlines the entire process. And it gives you a big advantage, especially in a job market that's as competitive as this one.
Yeah.
But it doesn't stop there.
Okay.
RoleCatcher, they also have this massive database of interview questions.
Okay.
We're talking like over 120,000 of them, specific to all different kinds of careers and industries.
120,000 interview questions.
I know.
Talk about being prepared for anything. But, I mean, let's be real here. Like, memorizing answers, that's not really the best way to go about it, is it?
Definitely not. And that's the cool thing is that RoleCatcher, they get that.
Okay.
They actually offer AI-powered feedback on like your practice sessions.
Oh, wow.
So you can record yourself, answering these common interview questions, and the AI will listen to it.
Wow.
And it analyzes how you're delivering your answers, the content of your answers, even your body language.
That's wild.
And then it gives you like really targeted feedback to help you totally nail that interview.
So it's like having a personal interview coach, but like 24/7?
Exactly.
That's a game changer.
Yeah.
Especially for people like me who like get totally tongue-tied just thinking about a job interview.
Totally. It's all about giving you the tools and resources that you need to do well. And that whole thing of like continuous improvement, that doesn't just stop once you get the job.
Right.
Our sources really highlight how important it is to like stay updated in this field. They even mentioned like specific certifications you can get, like becoming a certified metallurgical engineer.
So it really is like a lifelong learning kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Which, again, I can see how that would be essential in a field that's always coming up with like new innovations.
Yeah, for sure.
But, we've talked a lot about the technical aspects, the job search, having to constantly be learning new things.
Yeah.
What about like the human element?
Right.
What kind of person actually thrives in this field?
That is a great question. And it's something that our sources actually touch on too.
Right.
It's not just about being like a science whiz or some kind of tech guru.
Right.
It's about having like a certain mindset,
Okay.
a real passion for problem solving, a relentless curiosity about, just the world around them.
And yeah, I'd say a genuine love for these materials that, most people don't even think twice about.
So we're talking about people who, like, they look at a bridge, they look at their smartphone, and they see more than just, like, the finished product.
Yeah, exactly.
They see, like, centuries of metallurgical innovation, the stories that are kind of, like, hidden within the atoms of those metals.
Yeah, they could see that connection between, like, these things that, I don't know, they seem kind of basic to, like, these amazing feats of engineering that wouldn't be possible without them.
It's true. Like, even when you think about it, even, like, ancient civilizations, they were, like, totally captivated by metal.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the whole quest for, who could make the strongest sword or the most beautiful jewelry, it, like, drove so much innovation.
Right.
And it shaped history in such a major way.
Totally.
And now here we are, like, on the verge of this whole new era in materials science.
Right.
We've got nanotechnology.
Advanced composites, all this stuff is entering the picture. Our sources, I mean, they barely even mention those areas, but it really makes you wonder, what are, like, the metallurgists of tomorrow going to be creating?
That's what I love about this field.
Yeah.
It's always evolving, always changing. Like, we could be talking about designing, like, self-healing metals.
Nice.
Developing materials that can, like, handle the extreme conditions of space travel.
Wow.
Even creating alloys that can, like, store energy way more efficiently than anything we have now.
That's wild.
I mean, the possibilities are, like, endless.
Okay, I'm, like, fully inspired now.
I know, right?
But let's say, okay, someone's listening to this and they're thinking, okay, this all sounds really cool, but, like, I don't really see myself in a lab, surrounded by equations and, like, test tubes all day.
Yeah.
Are there other ways to, like, get involved in this world, the world of metallurgy?
For sure. I mean, think about all the different industries that use metal to construct. Right.
Transportation, manufacturing.
Okay.
Even art and design.
Right.
There are so many opportunities to work with these materials, to, like, really understand their properties and how you can use them. Even if you're not, a metallurgist who's, like, working in a lab.
So whether you're, like, an architect who's choosing the right steel for, like, a skyscraper.
Yeah.
Or, like, you're a sculptor working with bronze,
Exactly.
Understanding the nuances of these materials can really make a big difference.
Exactly. It's about, like, appreciating how these materials, how they fit into our lives.
Yeah.
From the, the everyday stuff to the really incredible things.
Right.
And hey, who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe this whole deep dive, maybe it sparks something in you.
It definitely has for me. I'm, like, looking around right now at my phone, my keys, like, even my coffee mug, and I'm seeing them in a whole new light.
Yeah.
Who knew that there were all these fascinating stories, like, hidden inside these everyday objects? That's what's so cool about metallurgy.
Yeah.
It reveals these, like, hidden wonders of the material world, and it connects us to, like, this legacy of innovation that goes back, like, thousands of years.
So it's not just about the metal itself.
Right.
It's about, like, taking a closer look at the things that we usually just take for granted,
Yeah, exactly.
And discovering this whole world of, like, ingenuity and possibility inside them.
For sure.
So next time you're, holding something metal, take a second, look at it a little closer. Think about the science, think about the history.
Yeah.
You might be surprised at what you find.
You really might. And remember, this field, metallurgy, it's always moving forward.
Yeah.
Always pushing the boundaries.
Right.
Who knows what amazing innovations are coming next?
That's a question for all of us, right?
Exactly.
Until next time, happy diving, everybody.